One bottle of champagne caused one of the worst fires in Switzerland in decades, and you will not believe how it all unfolded. Crans-Montana is a Swiss alpine resort set high in the Valais Mountains. On New Year's Eve, it filled with young people arriving in groups, moving from bar to bar, chasing warmth and music through the cold mountain night. Many of them stopped at La Constellation, a hotel bar known for its atmosphere and its taste for spectacle. Inside, everything felt staged. The lighting was theatrical, the music loud. Waitresses moved through the crowd wearing themed masks, turning the room into part celebration, part performance. Champagne was carried overhead, with sparklers burning at the top, drawing cheers and raised phones as it passed. Inside the bar, the crowd grew dense as the night went on. Music played, laughter echoed. Teenagers and young adults packed the room, some standing shoulder to shoulder, others pressed along the narrow staircase connecting the lower level to the main floor. Champagne bottles moved through the crowd, each one crowned with burning sparklers, white sparks brushing close to the ceiling. Phones were raised, cheers followed every arrival. At some point after midnight, something changed. People later recalled a smell, faint at first. Others noticed smoke forming above them, spreading slowly along the ceiling. There was no alarm, no immediate panic. Some assumed it was part of the celebration. Others didn't notice at all. By the time the danger became clear, the room was already beyond control. What many didn't fully register that night was the layout of the bar. La Constellation was partially underground. Much of the crowd was gathered below street level, with low ceilings overhead. The main way out was a single narrow staircase leading upward to the street. Fire investigators would later describe the event as a flashover. It occurs when heat builds up near the ceiling until every flammable surface ignites at once. In La Constellation, that moment came suddenly. When fire reached the ceiling, heat and smoke had nowhere to go. They collected above the crowd, spreading rapidly across the enclosed space. By the time people turned toward the stairs, the escape route was already becoming a bottleneck. The design left little room for error, and there were no seconds to spare. Some fell, others became trapped behind them. Smoke thickened, cutting off vision and breath within seconds. Temperatures rose to levels the human body cannot endure. A few managed to escape by breaking windows and pulling themselves outside into the snow. Many did not. Emergency services arrived in force. Ambulances, helicopters, and medical teams from across the region. By the end of the night, around 40 people were dead. More than 115 were injured, many with severe burns and smoke inhalation. The victims came from multiple countries. Most were young, some were still minors. The celebration ended not with fireworks, but with silence. In the days that followed the fire, authorities worked to identify the victims. Police confirmed that all 116 people injured in the blaze were eventually identified, including citizens from Switzerland, France, Italy, and several other countries. Many remained hospitalized with severe burns and injuries. The process of identifying the 40 people who died was long and heartbreaking. Many families provided DNA samples because the victims had suffered such severe burns that visual identification was impossible. By the weekend after the fire, Swiss prosecutors had opened a criminal investigation into the two managers of the bar, a French couple who ran La Constellation, on suspicion of negligent homicide, negligent bodily harm, and negligently causing a conflagration. A few days later, thousands walked silently past the Swiss bar where the fire had ended a New Year's celebration. They came to mourn loved ones, some struggling to hold back tears, others breathing shakily as they paused to lay flowers and light candles. Many critics questioned how a venue with so many young people inside could have lacked better safety measures. Some commentators even raised concerns about how frequently fire inspections were carried out at the bar, noting that formal checks may have taken place only sporadically over the past decade. In the end, the tragedy at La Constellation left behind not just victims, but a long trail of questions about responsibility, safety, and how to prevent such a loss from ever happening again.